Hello everybody, it's Dana Sullivan, the Stampin' Chick, here with another Make It Monday! How are you today, my friends? Thank you so very much for giving me a little grace for that extra hour I needed. We were at the high school doing chats with colleges, and that seemed pretty important, so thank you so much for giving me that little bit of grace there. I hope that you're all doing well today. I hope you had a fabulous weekend. And today is not only Make It Monday, but it is the last Monday of the month. And that means that it is also the Stamper Showcase blog hop, which I absolutely love. So if you don't know what the Stamper Showcase blog hop is, you can check out my blog at thestampinchick.com and look for today's post, which is Monday, August, what is today, the 30th? And you'll find the link to hop along to the next and the next blogs. And one of the things that I love about the Stamper Showcase blog hop is that all of the designers that are on the hop are just absolutely phenomenal, and they always do such incredible projects. So it's a lot of fun, and I know that you'll really enjoy it. There's a lot of inspiration on the blog hop, and it's super exciting. And next month's blog hop is going to be really exciting because we're doing a Fancy Folds theme, and each of the blogs will have the instructions for their particular fancy fold. So you'll be able to get lots and lots of fancy fold inspiration, and not just pictures, but you'll also have measurements and instructions, which is going to be exciting. All right, guys, today's project is this super adorable little treat holder for a Russell Stover Pecan Delight candy. Now, of course, that pecan, whatever, depending on which side of the Mason-Dixon you're from, but I call it pecan. So anyway, whatever you call it, it's yummy and it fits in this box. So that's all we need to know, right? Okay, now this box is actually using the Peaceful Deer Stampin' Punch bundle, but it's featuring the Peaceful Prints Designer Series paper, which is from the Celebration brochure. So this month's Stamper Showcase blog hop is all about the Celebration items. So everything that came in the little booklet, that's the one that we're featuring today. So I'm just going to pull my booklet out here. All of the things in here are what's focused for today's blog hop, which is just amazing. I mean, these folks do a terrific job at creating beautiful projects, and it's just wonderful. And you're going to see a good variety of projects using the stuff in the Celebration brochure, and all of the things are free, right? So free is always good. The Summer Shadows dies, absolutely fabulous. And this one here, this one really surprised me, because if it hadn't been for this die, I would totally have overlooked the stamp set, and that would have been sad, because the project I did, I believe it was last week's Make It Monday, was featuring this Stampin' die set. And, you know, the stamp set is just as cute as it can be, and it has great sentiments and everything. So this was a really nice surprise. I love the textures and frames. That's really good. And the delicate dahlias, of course, that's a lot of fun. Anyway, you get the idea. All of the things in here that are fabulous are free, and they're wonderful. Hi, Miss Sharon. How are ya? So anyway, September is coming up in another day and a half-ish, another day and a few hours, however you want to look at it. And that means we'll be wrapping up our first month of our second celebration. Let's say that 3 times fast. This celebration is different than normal ones because when an item sells out in the celebration brochure, that means it's sold out and gone for good. So the items in the celebration brochure this time will not go on back order. So that means if there's something in there you really want, you want to make sure and get it ordered right away. So that way you don't miss out, right? Okay, so that designer series paper matches beautifully with the Peaceful Deer stamp set. And let me just grab that paper out right quick so you can see. I've been cutting off of it, obviously, for today's projects, but you can see that the deer go a couple of different directions, and here is the punch that coordinates. So very easy to line it up. You can see with this deer here, and you can see it lines up really nicely with the deer, and it makes a nice border. It's absolutely beautiful. And then of course all of the designer series paper is just gorgeous. I mean, it's all just beautiful, perfect for Christmas. All of the Christmassy things that you come to know and love from Christmas themed paper you will find in this pack. The stripes, the snowflakes, the Christmas trees, the little dots, the buffalo plaid, it's all here. It's absolutely beautiful. Okay, I'm using the Peaceful Deer for the sentiment. I'm using the punch to punch out the coordinated deer from the designer series paper. And then I'm also using layering circles dies, and I'm using the Tasteful Labels dies. I have a couple of different label sets or die sets that I keep close to my workstation because they have absolutely beautiful labels in them. This is one. The Hippo and Friends bundle is the other. What is that? The Hippo and Friends dies. Yeah, Hippo and Friends dies. And then the Stitch So Sweetly dies as well. Lots of wonderful labels in all 3 of those, and I like to keep them close by. But this time I'm using, whoops, stay there. This time I'm using this die right here to make this nice little background layer you see there. So that's the one we're using. You'll need that. You'll also need a piece of cardstock, and while I've done this little box in green, I'm going to do this one in real red. So this is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4, and then we'll do some scoring and cutting. You'll also need some pieces of designer series paper. These are 5/8 of an inch by 3 3/8 of an inch, so you'll need 2 of those. And then these are 1 7/8 by 3 3/8, and you'll need 2 of those as well. Now, as you can see here, I can cut a strip of 3 3/8 inch paper and then cut what I need off of it, and that works out perfectly. But you just need 2 of each of those. And then you're also going to need whatever your embellishment, your label. So I've got the silver from the silver foil pack in the new holiday catalog. And then I have a piece of basic black and basic white using the layering circles dies. So this is the second smallest of each, the scallop and the straight circles. And so we'll be using those. Of course, I already have my sweet little deer punched out, so that's ready to go. And then instead of the gold cord, I'm going to be using the silver cord. These are from the Simply Elegant collection in the annual catalog. So these are Simply Elegant trim, and it's a 2-pack. It comes with the gold and the silver, which is absolutely fabulous for holiday projects. So I'll have that. And then I'm going to need about 12 inches of this ribbon. I don't want to use the real red because my packaging is going to be red. So I've brought out a little collection that I'm hoping maybe you guys will help me pick which one looks better. So I have the really wide silver mesh, which will be able to cinch up really nicely, and I think that'll look good. And then there's the black organdy, which is very nice. And then this is the white ribbon from the Seasons for Everything ribbon combo pack. So we have 3 different ones to choose from, and we'll set those aside for now. Let's put our box together, and then we can decide which one looks best, okay? Now, on my blog for today, you will see all of the measurements and instructions, so you won't have to worry about saving any of them. You'll also find this template over there. You'll be able to print out if you'd like, and you can carry it to your craft space. So I have a little bit cleaned up version with some typed up so that you don't have to worry about my handwriting. So let's go ahead and get our box base out and our scoreboard. So let me get that here. And on the long side, I'm going to score at 3/4 of an inch. And then 2 3/4. And then 3 1/2. And then 5 1/2. All right. And then we're going to turn counterclockwise, and we're going to score at 3 1/2. Okay. And then we can put the scoreboard away because that's it. Now what I want to do is follow the template on my website. So you can see I've mitered 2 of the squares, and then I've cut the 3rd one off. Okay, so you can see right here along the bottom, I think you can see it okay. There's a square, a rectangle, a square, a rectangle, and a square. So I'm going to go ahead and miter the first square. I'm going to miter the second square. And then I'm going to remove the 3rd square. Now you'll notice that I'm also mitering the bottom section of that right-hand rectangle. So I'm going to go ahead and just miter that at the same time I cut off the square. Okay, so I've actually cut off the square and the mitered part all in one shot. And then I'm left with something that looks very much like my template. Okay, let me get these out of the way. All right, now I'm going to bring in my designer series paper, get this other stuff out of the way here. And as you can imagine, you're going to put a piece of designer series paper on the first rectangle. You'll put a piece of the bigger rectangle on the second, the skinny rectangle on the third, and then the bigger rectangle on the fourth. And then this panel is actually going to glue to the other side. So that's what we're going to assemble our box with. So let me go ahead and grab my Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just going to run some adhesive and attach my layers here. I see some folks are in here. Thank you so much for coming. Please feel free to say hello. So we had our nephew had been living with us a couple of years ago, and we had taken him to the college night at the high school, and of course COVID has happened since, so it made a huge difference with things. But when we had taken him, there were a lot of universities there, community colleges and tech schools, and even the various branches of military were all there gunning for, you know, the seniors to decide they want to go to their particular school or whatever. And the students were able to do a lot of visiting with the representatives there to get some more information and so on and so on. And so that's what we were doing this evening, except that instead of being in a big open gymnasium as they were in the past, of course they worry about social distancing and all of that stuff, so they had only a small handful of schools, and they were each in different classrooms throughout the school. So it made it a little more difficult to go around and visit the schools, and that's what took us a bit longer than we initially anticipated, was because it took us a bit longer than it did the last time. So anyway, we got some good information, and I think Little Miss is a little more understood about the things that she needs to get done and whatnot. So senior year is highly stressful and there's a lot to do, but she knows what she's doing, man. She is so smart and she is on top of it. All right, friends, now I'm going back and I am burnishing all of my score lines. So I just want to make sure, as with any box, that I make sure to get each of the lines burnished really good and crisp. This is going to make our box look very nice, and helps it come together easier as well. So, here we go. We knew already that she wanted to be a marine biologist, which is great. I mean, that's what she's wanted to do for years now. But we were kind of hoping that the local college would have enough biology programs for her to be able to do her first 2 years of college here in Tennessee. But as it turns out, that may not be the case, because most of them only have a small biology program. So we'll be lucky to get a year out of her before she goes away to the big schools. All right, I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus to attach the box. Certainly you could use liquid glue, and actually, you know what, let's just go ahead and use the liquid glue. You could use either or, but when it comes to the flaps on the bottom, I'm going to want to use the liquid glue anyway. I'm going to try to sandwich them if I remember to do it. I forget sometimes. I'm not going to lie, I forget sometimes, but I'm going to try to sandwich them because that gives a nice clean look on the inside. So all I've done is just folded this edge over, and then that gave me a little flap. When you have an even number of panels, you can do that, and it's really easy. All right, now what I want to do, let me see, there's my back side right there. So there's my front side, which is great because with the way that it's set up, it makes it really hard to find where your back is. So I want this panel to go down first, and then I want to sandwich the tabs, and then I want this panel to go down. And what that does is give me a nice clean inside, right? So let me see if I can just put some liquid glue on this panel and on my little tabs here. Okay, I'm not worrying about them too much yet. I'm going to add a little more glue to the tabs so this way they're sandwiched in. And then I'm going to fold this flap over, and that will give me a good finished panel. Okay, so now I have that. I'm going to take my bone folder to the inside just to make sure that I'm really getting it closed up good in there. Alright, and there's the foundation for our box. Now you could do this for literally any size of gift or whatever you want. I mean, if you wanted it big enough to put a spool of ribbon in, you do this very much the same way you do a standard box. You know, you're going to measure the width of whatever the gift is, plus the depth of it and the height, and you're going to go from there. So it's a pretty simple standard box type here. It's nice. And then I'm going to take my handheld hole punch, and I'm going to kind of squeeze the front and back tops together. Not a lot, because I don't want to crease it, but I want my holes to line up relatively the same. Give it a little muscle, and now our holes are lined up, so that's good. Okay, now that we've got this part, let's go ahead and assemble our front pieces here. I need to stamp on this. Let me grab my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I'm using Memento Black ink, and the sentiment that I'm using is this: wishing you a wonderful year and friendships dear. I think it's super cute, and it's the perfect size for the second smallest layering circle, so I love that too. Alright, tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. Okay, lining up, there we go. Hold it for just a second so that the ink absorbs into the paper. There we go, beautiful. Alright, now we're going to layer these two together. Just use some of my Stampin' Seal here. Hold on, friend. These smaller ones are a little harder to line up. That's okay. That's why we line it up carefully and don't push down until we're sure. There we go. Okay. And then I know I want to put dimensionals on the back side of my metallic piece. Oops, I'm picking up papers here. There we go. I'm going to put dimensionals on the four corners. Not too far over, you know, it's going to hang over just a teeny tiny bit, but that's okay. Alright. This would be a really fun, quick, and easy little treat holder for coworkers or classmates or whatever. I mean, if you assembly line cut everything, you know, you could assemble these super quick. Alright, I'm just going to line this up here, right like that. And then I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the bottom and bottom left corners of the circle. So imagine that it has quadrants, right? You're going to put it in the bottom left quadrant. Hi, Miss Elaine. How are ya? How is North Carolina today, darling? Okay, and then I also want to put one right up here on the top corner of the little label piece, because that's going to give me a nice extra dimensional for the circle here. So I want to do that. I'm just going to put it right about there, and I'm not going to push it down yet because I want to make sure that that's going to line up okay and that I don't need to scoot it farther, which I think I kind of do a little bit. Hot and humid, yes ma'am. I believe we can feel that sentiment here in East Tennessee as well, darling. It is hot and icky. Mr. Sullivan is out mowing the lawn while it's somewhat cooler, and by somewhat, of course, we laugh and say not really, but at least it's breathable. Okay, for the deer, I'm going to double layer my dimensionals, okay? So I want 2 dimensionals in each section that I'm doing dimensionals. So I'm doing 2 on the back of her head, and I'm doing 2 in 2 places across the top section of her body, or top midsection, whatever. Okay, so I'm going to stack 2 on top of each other because I want her to be just a little more dimensional than the label. So I want her to kind of pop in front of it, like the label or the circle is behind her, right? Okay, so just like that, we've got 3 sets of 2 layers. That's what we want. After I get this finished, I have getting started on the next Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape. Miss Wendy Lee and I do a regular stamping adventure with 12 projects. It's a big class. We do a Facebook event, and we play Stampin' Bingo, do prize patrols, do Facebook Lives, and all kinds of fun stuff. And we just have a great time. And it starts on a Friday evening and then goes all day Saturday. And we're getting started on putting our projects together. So I'm getting ready to switch gears a little bit and start working with the Blackberry Beauty collection of stuff, because that's the theme we're using for our Stampin' Escape. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I have a really pretty card that I've already got started, and a fun little treat holder that's going to have the treats in it, but I can't say any more than that. I can just say that the projects are a lot of fun, and if you've not taken one of our escapes before, you definitely need to, and if you have done one before, you know how amazing they are, and you definitely want to sign up again. So you can find registrations on my blog by searching Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape, or I believe on today's blog post there's a clickable image there as well. So easy peasy, plus you can find it on my Facebook page. Join us, it's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. Okay, and I'll be getting rid of all of this silver stuff and replacing it for gold while I'm working with that stuff. So I'm enjoying my silver stuff while I can. I'm more the silver girl rather than the gold girl. So I really enjoy the silver stuff. Okay, I need your help, friends. We have our little treat holder almost finished, and it's super, super cute. Let me grab some holiday rhinestones right here to finish it off. And I think I'm going to use the red ones. I'll put one here, one here, and one here. Let me move those down just a little bit, shall we? Yeah, let's move them down just a little bit. There we go. Okay, now we're ready for the ribbon, and I need your help. So I already know that I will use the silver cord to tie the bow around it like this one is, okay? But I need to know, do we use the black organdy, which is pretty, and it's got silver flake, and it's got the black in there, which ties that in? Do we use the white, which ties that in a bit? There's not a whole lot of white, so that's good. Or do we use this one? Now that would be silver on silver, but maybe if we do this one, we could do the black and white twine around it instead of the silver. That might look okay. I think maybe, I don't know how you feel about it, but I'm thinking maybe the white is the better. What do you think? White with the silver bow around it? What do you think, folks? I think. All right, let me set these aside here right quick. Let me bring back that black one so you can see it again. Mary says the black one. Oh, yeah, the black one is very pretty, and it's got that nice sparkle to it. And the silver bow would tie nicely. I like that the black will tie in with the black label too. That's very nice. Okay, and I'm seeing another black and then a white. Okay, so we've got 2 black and a white. So we'll go with the black. And now 12 inches is an approximation that I'm not going to worry about right now with this. I'm just going to say, that looks about where I want it. And then I'm going to snip it because that's the way I roll. So I put the 12 inches on there to give you a good guesstimation if you need a measurement. But, and actually, you know what? I lied to you. It absolutely needs to be the 12 because while I'm not paying attention, it has to go down into the hole too. So cut 12 inches. Don't cut it how you feel like. Don't listen to me. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and loop the ribbon through both of the holes, and I'm just taking my finger and kind of poking the ribbon down just a bit so that I can get the candy in there, and then I'm going to poke it the rest of the way down. Okay, so I'm just giving it a nice little hammock of sorts. And then we'll push it down the rest of the way. And now we have our ribbon here. And then I'm going to tie my bow, just a regular bow. Now this cable or this cord is a little bit difficult to get to stay tied. The trick is definitely to keep it tight. Okay, so let me just get it looped clear down to the ribbon here. So I'll hang on to this part and tie it snug. There we go. So that's the easy part, but the difficult part is getting those loops to stay looped and tied. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tie our bow, okay, just like a regular bow. And then what I want you to do, once you get it tied, you'll see which end of the loop to pull that tightens the knot itself, not the one that makes the loop bigger, but the other side that tightens the loop itself, and just pull on that bugger. You know, you can see my fingers are turning white. Give it a really snug pull, okay? And then you can snip it. All right, so now we've got our little treat holder, and I'm going to give that just a little tuck so that it's tucked in. Right there. And then I'm going to trim the ends of my ribbon so it's pretty. Okay, there we go. All right, that is too cute. I love it. No, I didn't trim that one, but I need to. There we go. All right. There you have it, friends. Aren't they cute? So now my question is, do you prefer the green or do you prefer the red? What do you think? They're both very cute, aren't they? And of course you could do these in all kinds of colors. And you know, I have the 13 Treats of Halloween series that will be starting up the 1st of October. And you may see this treat holder again. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure if I'm going to cheat on you or if I'm going to do 13 totally unique ones and then give you this one as a bonus. But wouldn't this be cute with a Halloween theme or a Valentine's theme or birthday or whatever the occasion? You can see how you could use this for just about any occasion and change the papers, change the colors. But it's a lot of fun, and it's a really simple and easy box to make. So you see, very cute. Very sweet. That organdy ribbon is a little bit stickier than the regular red ruffled ribbon, so I'll tell you that now. With me messing with it, it kind of snags a little more than this one does. This one goes really smoothly. So, but it's more of a satiny type rather than that glittered ribbon, glittered organdy. So anyway, there you go. All right, friends, thank you all so very much for hanging out with me this evening. And like I said, thank you again for giving me the grace of an extra hour. I appreciate your time, and I hope that you guys love this little box. It is so sweet. Now, I found these little pecan delights at the Dollar General. But we're fortunate enough to live semi-close to the Pigeon Forge tourist area, so we have a Russell Stover place up the road, and I could get a bunch of them there too. But anyway, you could use any small little, probably a Reese's peanut butter cup would fit in there, or a York peppermint patty. Let me see how Ghirardelli... I have a Ghirardelli. Let's see if a Ghirardelli works. I wonder if you could maybe stack a couple. I don't have a couple Ghirardellis, but yes! 2 Ghirardellis, I would say, would stack beautifully in the package. So you can see there's plenty of room here for another one. It's the right size. Yeah, Ghirardellis would work great in there as well, so there you go. All right, friends, I will leave it at that. Thank you again so very much. Remember, check out my blog. Follow the blog hop around, the Stamper Showcase blog hop. You will not be sorry. The theme is all about those celebration items. So get some fabulous and beautiful project ideas to use with all that free stuff. And make sure you check out my new and upcoming Stampin' Escape, the Beautiful Tomorrow Blue Ridge Stampin' Escape. It's going to be a lot of fun, and projects like this are just the tip of the iceberg. We have a great time, and they're beautiful projects. So, all right. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful night, and until next time, my friends, bye for now.